Hello, everyone, and welcome to Layer by Layer, the podcast of Slant 3D, where we talk about everything that's going on, about anything in 3D printing or what we're working on here. And guys, this is going to be a long show. Oh my gosh, we got so much stuff coming down over the next 3 months. We're going to try to give everybody a summary of it. First of all, got hair, grew this week, and it was like amazing. But now I don't know if we can keep it for forever. We'll see. But no, thank you. We did a video this week for making a Dyson fan with 3D printing and talking about how the design of it worked and kind of how it can be mass produced by designing for printing. And it was a really good response. So thank you all who watched it. If you haven't seen it, I recommend that you go over and take a look at it and have some fun with it. But this is probably going to be a video that we're going to turn into kind of a longer form series because we do want to do some deeper dives. We've run through a lot of the very basic 3D printing features, and we want to start going through kind of integration of how to make 3D printed products, which have multiple parts and pieces. So there's probably going to be some longer form videos around that. The Dyson fan will probably be one of those. We're kind of figuring out where we want to go with it. So we'll probably turn that into one or two more videos of refining the design into a final product, which we think would be really informative for folks who are looking at creating 3D printed products and mass producing them, and can have some fun with it and that kind of stuff. Also, get the way, you have to, when you're messing with all that kind of stuff. You can't test a fan if you don't have hair. It's impossible. We all know this. But anyway, let's see here. Other stuff going on. We got the massage rollers. Kickstarter still going. If you want the file, there are 10 designs right now for the massage rollers. For desktop rollers, you can keep them in your backpack and that kind of thing. So you can get the files for that, or you can download the actual prints themselves. This was actually a really fun design project because I enjoy parts that are single pieces that are functional, because there's all of this stuff that a lot of people add a lot of guff and stuff into it to where, you need a piece for this and a piece for that and so on and so forth. But to just have a thing that rolls that is useful is a fun project to work on because it makes you really focus on the actual geometry of it itself. And as a mechanical engineer, I really enjoy that type of project. But yeah, over on Kickstarter, and you can download the files for those and get a whole batch of them and print whichever ones you want, or just get a couple of them yourself. A lot of stuff going on this week. Let's see here, where to start. The Etsy integration. So we are in final beta testing right now of the Slant 3D Etsy integration. My hair's all messed up, my goodness. The Etsy integration is going to be coming out in the next 2 weeks, looks like, unless we hit some major roadblock. But we've passed final testing on that, so it's going to be coming through. It will allow anyone with an Etsy store, 3D printing Etsy store, to plug directly into our print farm. So what you will do is you will connect your store to the integration app there, and then you will match up 3D models to individual SKUs. And then when an order is made of that SKU, it will automatically be sent to us, and we will print and ship it to your customer white labeled. So with Christmas coming up, Etsy tends to really spike up. And a lot of folks either have to buy more machines that aren't used the rest of the year or just be really slow delivering orders. And we want to help everybody get around that by allowing them to take advantage of our capacity during Christmas. So if you have like a 3 or 5 or 10 or even 20 machine print farm, and then Christmas comes and you don't have enough machines, you can just start porting a few orders over to us. It will be limited to specific colors like black, gray, and white. And a few other options. We're going to try to expand it as quickly as possible, but we want to make sure that we're delivering the orders well and reliably because Christmas be Christmas. So that app will be coming out very, very soon, and there'll be a separate announcement video about that, deep diving into it and doing a demo. The long-term series for the Dyson fan, yes, we'll be doing multiple videos on that because it had a good response. That video's performed really well, and it was a fun project. We will probably try to make that file available for download, though at the same time, that's going to be a tough design project. And just giving up the file to then go float out in the world and have 10 copies over on Etsy or something like that, is not something we always are super jazzed about, but we do want to share the file and definitely the way of going about it. But it's something that could be turned into a really interesting product. And that brings up a side conversation. A lot of people have asked about the patents of the Dyson fan. And the Dyson fan most definitely is patented. There's all kinds of patents around it. But they're around primarily the design and some of the engineering of like the motor and maybe some of the airfoil and that kind of stuff. But the thing with patents that you have to understand is that very rarely can you patent something so fundamental that it can't, a deviation can't be created. So like the Dyson fan works with entrainment where you're pushing air along by other air. And entrainment is a physical process and you cannot patent parts of physics. It's like Einstein saying, I own fission because it's my thing. And everything else related to E equals MC squared. You just can't do it. It doesn't make any sense. Dyson definitely has patents on the designs, which are the appearance of the part. So design patents and there's design patents and utility patents. Design patents are about how a thing looks and how it's kind of laid out. Utility patents are around particular functions or things that stuff does. So it'd be impossible for them to have a patent for a fan that uses entrainment. That's way too broad and is trying to take control of a physical process. And so we're going to go ahead and make the fan that's our own style there. What's odd is that we're going to learn from Dyson of what their fans have done and what they're going to do. And it's going to be fun to see how much further we can take it. Because at the same time, Dyson has really optimized those suckers. We're able to make some more defined decisions because the 3D printed parts can do stuff that's more complex than traditional manufacturing. But we're also limited by having fewer resources and components. We don't have the highest speed motor ever created available to us. We've got to kind of use off the shelf stuff. But it'll still be really cool and really fun. So we're excited about that. Let's see here. Filament. Okay, guys. This has been languishing for a while here. There's been a number of delays on this, mainly around the machinery that we got in to make the consumer line of filament. This is final filament coming off of, not final filament, we're still messing with the spooling itself, but functional useful filament. We're doing final testing of this right now, but this is off of the extrusion line that we got for consumer filament for pursuing the $10 spool of filament. Again, we're going to do another video about this specifically, but this is going to be launched very, very soon. We are going to launch with clear, and this is some of the best clear that you can possibly find. Most clear always has a yellow tinge to it, especially if you're like buying off of Amazon and that kind of stuff. This does not. This is perfectly crystal, beautiful, clear filament. There's no milkiness to it at all. It is as close to like perfectly transparent as you can possibly get. Because it's a material called NGO 850, which is also exceptionally durable. Usually a little twine of filament like this, PLA, would break off, but this is basically what a lot of folks consider to be PLA Plus or Pro PLA, but it's stupid durable. And we've set up the temperature settings in a way to where it's always stupidly durable. You don't have to do like some kind of annealing or anything along those lines. It's just super tough stuff. So the first batches of this will be coming out really, really soon. We did not intend this. We did not think that all of our product launches were going to kind of happen at the same time, but they've all sort of hit crescendo at the same time. And we don't have time to space them out because Christmas is coming. And when Christmas hits, we're not going to be doing anything. We're not going to be doing anything. So the filament will be launching here very soon, unless we run into some other major issue. I will say the major issue that is going to be is around the spools themselves. Sourcing the spools has been stupid irritating because there's like two companies that you have to pay by, I don't know, pigeon and check and that kind of stuff, just because they're very old organizations and nobody else is an Uber spool maker. For these first batches, we are not going to use our slant spool design because we don't have time to deal with the die cutting and the production of those right now because we're just so busy with regular production projects. But filament will be made, and it will be made in 1 kilogram format on a standard spool, so there won't be anything weird about that. And this will be some of the best clear you can possibly get. As time goes by here, we will also introduce other colors, black, white, and gray, most likely. So there's that. Really busy over the next 3 months. The next 3 months, we have Etsy, we have Filament, we have, of course, Christmas starting up. Christmas for us starts in like October, and when October hits, we kind of stop taking like external production clients, but we have to finish up the ones that we've got in order to clear capacity on the print farm for our clients that are very Christmas focused, because we do print and fulfillment for all of them. So Christmas is a big spike. It's one of them holidays that like a lot of people start buying stuff on. So yeah, we're going to be very, very busy over the next few months. And the team has been doing great getting all of our work done as it is right now. And then we're going to be ramping in even more. And then in the spring, hopefully we can hit the ground running with our second factory and that kind of stuff. But again, updates about that. There's so many projects this quarter coming together. We might do something. Now, I'm going to save that for later. Let's see. News. Apple testing 3D printed watch. This is not news. We talked about this like 6 weeks ago. This is suddenly getting a ton of play. I don't know why it suddenly took 6 weeks for this news to get out. But we talked on the podcast 4 or 6 weeks ago about the rumor of Apple printing Apple watches. The new round has had some photos of it, of supposedly binder jet printed Apple watches, and everybody's theorizing about what company is doing it. I'm going to guess, I think it's probably Desktop Metal, and I'm going to bet that might have even had no, I don't think it had anything to do with the actual merger decision with Stratasys, but it might have. Because if Apple is starting, the reason Apple is looking at 3D printing, it has nothing to do with customization. Nobody at Apple cares about customization. The value of it is the fact that you're able to create very dense and combined geometries. It's the fact that they can eliminate parts. And on an Apple Watch, where space is at a premium, to be able to integrate everything into a single printed part is a big advantage. And of the processes out there, EOS has the best metal printing. I think Desktop Metal might have the most scalable 3D printing, but I'm not sure. So I don't really know which one of them would win in this. Whatever Apple is doing is it'll be very limited to the most premium of the watches right now. It's for the Apple Watch Pro or whatever the thing is. So there's not really a capacity constraint on it right now because they're selling maybe tens of thousands of those things, and an Apple Watch is this big. Cranking them out with a printer is not that big of a deal. So the Apple Watch is a great demo because Apple leads the way, as Apple does, everybody else does. So it's very fun to watch. I look like, with the hair like this, I look like, sidebar, The Incredibles, I look like the daughter. Gee whiz. But Apple testing the 3D printing watch would be is a big boon for the industry because everybody attributes Apple to enormous volumes of parts. So even if they're doing it for the premium kind of low volume unit, it's a big step forward, and it's a big piece of credibility for the industry if that goes through. And then Apple also this week, with this same rumor, has done a promo and a series of ads with 3D Pets. And if you don't know 3D Pets, the guys over there, 3D Pets is a spinoff / partner company of Dive Design. And those guys have been doing this for several years, designing prosthetics for pets. And they use an Apple LiDAR scanner and that kind of stuff to scan a dog and then put it out. Apple did an ad spot about it, and Marquez Brownlee did a featured video about it, which is great. This is really cool to see that level of discussion and presentation of 3D printed applications out there. The 3D Pets guys are awesome, and the work that they do is really cool. The content they produce is amazing. The product that they have is great. It's really, really nifty to see that. And actually, we need to do a real 3D printed products video about them. But now I feel like we'd just be tagging on the tails of all the other hype going around them. But c'est la vie. The 3D Pets project is just really nifty, and it's both of these center around Apple. So it's Apple likes 3D printing, and it all the way from the marketing department back to the engineering department who's testing new projects. So it's really interesting to see that major of an endorsement from the company. Apple is the largest company on the planet, I think. So that's just really, really, really cool. 3D printing API v2. Okay, so we announced the API at the beginning of this year. It is done. We've had the API done for a few months now, and we've been testing it with both the POD app and now these Etsy and Shopify integrations that are coming out. And we found some bugs to where we don't want to release this version of the API publicly. So the guys are going through and we're doing a full rebuild of the API itself so that people can jack into our farm with whatever development project they have. It's going to improve the speed of it. It's going to improve the reliability of it. It's going to be a very robust piece of software. So it's going to be delayed. It's delayed, but it will be a much better tool for developers who are really looking for a performant piece of software. The version 1 is functional, is useful. You can build apps around it, but you have to know it pretty well in order to build effective apps. So we want to eliminate the need for. We want the app to be the app API to be really easy to use and very effective. And so we're basically just doing a scratch rebuild of it for the version 2. We learned all of our lessons, we took all of our lickings, and we got it implemented with version 1, and we have it in the demo apps to where we can continue testing it and finding out what other things we don't know. But the version 2 API itself will be much better, much improved. The team is doing some cool stuff on it. So that will be coming out. And it will also be correlating with some internal stuff that we're doing around our production software that is getting much more efficient. So yeah, the software team has been doing an awesome job on that stuff. So there's all that. How far along are we? That's almost the end of my show notes here. But yes, just a lot of good things happening here. It's been kind of a weird year at Slant 3D, just all kinds of stuff just kind of not landing the way we sort of thought it would. And all coming down here in Q4, which is the busiest possible time we can have all this happening. So we're going to, over the next couple of weeks, the team is going to take some team days and that kind of stuff, and we're going to get ourselves revved up for Christmas so that we're ready to perform just as quickly as possible. But a lot of good stuff coming down, a lot more things that we haven't talked about that are in the works and coming around. It may impact our YouTube publishing schedule, but right now we're still at about 5 videos a week. And there's some weeks where we're a little bit less than that if certain videos are delayed for some reason, which is happening more and more because our videos are kind of increasing in production value. So we are doing more of that. We hope to show more of the farm. So a lot of the design for 3D printing videos will show like components and applications inside of the print farm. So a lot of stuff happening there. Let's see. That will pretty much do it. Yeah, the next 3 months are just going to be crazy. And I'm not going to talk about that one. That one's for a different show at a different time because we've talked about too much stuff here. But yeah, let us know down in the comments if there's any topics that you guys want us to cover, any sort of individual components and that kind of stuff. We have about 4 to 5 videos or design for printing videos coming out. And of course, we're going to expand on the Dyson video. People had great response to that. They love the hair, got to bring it back. So we're going to expand on the Dyson video, building probably a final product from that. When that will come out, we do not have a schedule for right now because we got to get that roadmapped, and it's another project. I mean, to build a final consumer product is really hard to do it well and reliably. So there's going to be some planning in it, and there's a limited amount of time we can plan because building a whole fan product when we're a 3D printing company is not really what we should be doing because we got other fish to fry and clients to take care of and that kind of thing. But it's a really cool device. And even though that prototype that we did was like in a day, it's really, really cool. It's a really nifty design. And yeah, everybody responded to it really well. So it's something that we should continue to pursue to really kind of play out. And there's that. Well, that's pretty much it, everybody. If you want to go over to the Kickstarter, get the massage rollers, get the files for them, or get the prints themselves. There are 10 different designs. You can do deep tissue, something that really tears you up, or something that's just smooth and gentle for a lump in your back or something like that. Do check them out. They're also a really nifty product. And if not, nothing else, check out the video for these because we talk about how we textured them and how they can look really good when they are textured. So that's it. Thanks, everybody. Hopefully see you next week. Have a great day, everybody.